Hi, this is a video for anybody who is interested in getting into online tutoring or finds they have to now get into online tutoring and is a little bit kind of apprehensive about how they might do it. So I've been doing online tutoring for a while and I've started training others in how to do online tutoring. I've found that I'm able to help quite a few people with the kind of skills that I've developed over the years. So I thought I'd start advertising a little bit more and talking about what kind of how my training would be done. So basically, an hour-long session, it would cost 30 quid. So if you did just 1 hour, it'd be 30 quid. What I would suggest, however, is to sign up for a 5-session course. What I would do is I would only bill you after the first session. So if you choose what I've got from the first session is all I need, I'm happy to do that. I'll bill you for the 30 quid. And if you want to continue, then you'd pay the 140 quid and get the 5 sessions. So if it was 1 session, we would just do this one here. And if it was the 5 sessions, we'd still do that. Just looking at getting you started, looking at what options you've got for your lesson delivery. So what kind of hardware do you have? And what is your ICT knowledge like? So we can look at how you can actually start to deliver your first lesson as soon as possible. So that would be quite a heavy session, so I'd be going over quite a few things. But what I would do is I'd be recording the session so as you can watch it back, play it back, and study it afterwards. I'll give you some homework for that session. So what I want you to do is to have a play with all the different tools and ideas that I'll introduce. And almost certainly by the next session, you would have lots and lots of questions for me. So at the beginning of the next session, we'll clear up those questions and then we'll have a little practice and we'll look at how we can smooth out the delivery of your lessons. And I'll introduce a few other ideas, little tricks, and some different tools that can solve whatever problems you're coming across. Your homework for that session will be to practice some tricks with Google Drive and Google Sheets. So within this session, I'll be using Google Drive and Google Sheets to help you to share resources more effectively, to organize your lessons, and to communicate with your students online in a way that you would come across as professional and organized, and they would, as a client, would know what's going on. Session 3 would be looking to build a very basic website, and we'd also look at how to use Google Calendar to book lessons and how to integrate that Google Calendar within this very basic website. So as your clients or potential clients could look at your calendar themselves without seeing anything that you don't want them to see, and see when you're available, and then so they would do their lesson booking for you. And again, it just makes you look really, really professional. Well, more professional anyway. You can obviously do more with a more high-tech website. Within that, you might also want to put things like a blurb of like who you are, why how experienced you are, and what your rates would be, and what you can offer, whatever else it might be. So your homework for that session would be to finish setting up that website and setting up any calendars or settings on your calendars to enable you to finish whatever we were trying to do in that session. 4th session, we would do a bit more work on Google Sheets and Google Drive and look at how we can start to produce a database of your resources. No doubt you've got a lot of different resources, and it would be quite nice to have them easily accessible for your tutoring sessions. It's never going to really be ideal if they see you rummaging about, wasting lesson time trying to find the resource which would help that student at that time. In a perfect world, students will always tell you in advance what they want you to cover within a certain lesson, and you can insist on that at the beginning, but most students, in my experience, often change their mind or tell you last minute, and you really would like to have all your resources easily accessible at a drop of a hat, so they can see you very flexible and your lessons are much easier to engage with as a client or as a student. So you might also want to set them some homework, and that homework might be based on a misconception which they showed within the lesson, and you would ideally like to be able to find that assessment or whatever it might be live in the lesson so they can see it and you can set it. So we'll look at how we can do that. So what you're going to do for homework for that would be to go away and produce an online resource bank from the skills I'll be teaching, and practice some of the different things that you can do with Google Sheets, which will involve collecting information from different parts of your Google Drive and producing links which students can then click on, and you can filter those links based on the subject, based on ability, based on GCSE, Key Stage 3, A-level, whatever it is. So that would be session 4. Session 5, what we're going to be doing then is looking at how we can use these sheets to assess and monitor our progress, so students' progress, but also maybe how to monitor your payments. Like, is there anybody who owes you money currently? And if I do lesson bundles, so a lot of students will buy a bundle of lessons, and I want to know how many of those lessons do they have left in their bundle, and when is the next payment due, and I want to be able to keep a clear track of that. And also I want to communicate to them without having to call them up or whatever, so they know how many more lessons they've got and when their next payment is due. So obviously that'll be the last session if we do a 5-session course, and so just go away, practice, and have a little rest. But what you'll probably find, even after those 5 sessions, you might still want some more support. And this organisation of the course is by no means concrete. It's a one-on-one session. So any questions thing you want to focus on, we can just completely put that to one side and focus all on the delivery of your lessons, or all on Google Sheets, or whatever it might be. Maybe you've got a lot of things like that, but you really want to focus on the database. I mean, we could do a 10-hour course just on Google Sheets quite easily. So if you are interested in any of this, just give me a call, contact me by my website or my email address, my Facebook, and I can talk more about whether or not I can help you. And maybe you want to just sign up for the first hour, see if it helps you, and then commit afterwards. But yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.